Hi, everyone. We're going to give it another minute or so to let people hop on, and then we'll get started.
All right, we're going to go ahead and get started here. Appreciate you all taking the time out of your days to join us. We know this is a very, very busy time for everybody. So thank you for taking some time out of your day. I think on the last call I was on, somebody said there's like 14 to 15 working days left of the year, which is crazy to think that we're that far into December already. But we're going to take you guys through a few dealer case studies today. Just as you're planning for next year, we thought it would be helpful for you to see what some other dealers have been doing throughout this year, maybe some ideas you want to take and try to implement in your own dealership. And then we're also going to go through a few ideas for end of the year push. I know I said there's only a few working days left of this year, but we know it's a very busy time for you guys at your dealerships and trying to hit those end of year sales goals. So just wanted to share a few ideas of things that we've seen work well, some different items that you guys can maybe take and push yet this year. Quick intros here. I'm Kira Sorensen. I'm the account director here at AGCO Direct. You guys have probably seen me host a few of these webinars. I will be going on maternity leave starting the end of this month through the end of through the end of March. So Jordan will be taking my place while I'm out on these webinars and hosting these while I am gone. Jordan is a senior account manager on our team. Jordan, you want to introduce yourself a little bit?
Yeah, so like Kira said, my name's Jordan. From who I can see on the call, I feel like I've interacted with at least most of you. I've been on the AGCO Direct team for about 4 years now. I work primarily with dealers in the Midwest and then also the Southeast. Just excited to be here. And like Kira said, I'll be here on the webinars going forward for the next few months.
And before we dive in, I just wanted to remind you all, we do have the chat function available for you. Thank you, Bill. We're glad you're here. If you do have any questions or comments as we go throughout today's presentation, feel free to drop those in the chat, and we'll either answer those during the presentation or at the end. First case study we have to share with you all is a texting campaign that Lake Henry has been doing throughout the year. They had some really good success with texting on the parts side last year, so they decided to try it on the whole goods side this year. Each quarter, they have decided to send out a text message to push some type of inventory that they have excess stock in, or something that they feel that they need to move off of their lot. So in Q3, they had sent out this text message pushing the 1800E and the GC 1700. Within about 10 minutes of this text going out, they received 2 leads. You can see those leads over on the side there of responses. They weren't directly related to the models that they were pushing with the text message, but they were still leads nonetheless, and always good to see those responses come so quickly. I did want to point out this is a very cost-effective way to reach your customers quickly. You can see it's about $150 before co-op for a text message, which equates to $60 after co-op when done through us at AGCO Direct. They had a customer list of about 670, and those were delivered to 659 customers. So again, extremely cost-effective way to get in front of your customers quickly. The second one is from Alliance. Alliance was wanting to do a used inventory push. I think this is something that's going to be affecting all of you. As we know, the markets are down. Used inventory becomes a larger and larger issue. So something that you should all be keeping top of mind as you're planning for next year is how are you going to keep that used equipment moving? What Alliance Ag had decided to do is an integrated marketing plan. And the tactics that they used were addressable display, PMAX, Google paid search, and paid social. This ran just from September to November, which is a fairly short amount of time for a campaign like this to run. However, they saw some really great results. Within those 2 months, they received 223 phone call clicks, 87 social outbound clicks, meaning that somebody clicked on a social ad to go to their website. They also received 21 calls from the ads, and they received 13 form fills. So again, a really easy way to get in front of your customers, hit them with multiple touch points, and try to get that used equipment moved off your lots. This is another really cost-effective way to get in front of your customers. Google responsive display. We've been seeing really great results with this throughout the year for a number of dealers. This one, Billings reached out to us. They didn't have a lot of money that they could spend at the time, but they really wanted to take advantage of the 0% for 72 offer that Massey had at the time. So we put together this Google responsive display campaign for them. All traffic drove to a landing page right on their website. You can see it was only $500 per month. During the first month of this running, they had a click-through rate of 1.74%, which is above average. They had 33,000 impressions, 5 phone calls, 1 form submit, and the dealer did reach out to us and tied sales directly back to this campaign, which is awesome. We know that all the other stats are great and exciting, but what we really want to do is help you all drive sales. So when we can hear that we actually help drive sales, that's a really exciting day for us. Loft is another one that they reached out to us and actually told us about the success of this campaign. This was a really fun email to get. It was forwarded to me from Bradley, who works directly with Loft, and he told us about the success of the campaign that Zach from the dealership had shared with him. He titled it Good News Friday. We all like to get a little extra good news on Friday, so this was a really fun one for us. But the backstory on it, Loft sales were really down at the beginning of the year due to a drought in their region and increasing interest rates, which we know you all have been dealing with increasing interest rates. So what we had done for them is we put together a digital marketing campaign to promote the 0% financing offer that Massey was offering. Tactics that they used were paid social, geofencing, Google responsive display, and paid search. After co-op, the budget was just over $1,300. So again, very cost effective. Within 3 months of this running, and this is when Zach reached out to us, they had 1.73 million impressions and they cleared their lot of tractors. So they were kind of at a point that they're like, what are we going to do with all this inventory? I think they're in a little bit of a panic mode. And then they went on to clear their full lot of tractors. Again, our favorite types of success stories end in you guys getting direct sales.
This next example comes from Smith Farm Supply. Like Kira had mentioned in her previous examples, this was one that was super cost effective and left both the dealer and our team super happy with the results. We were previously running a click to website paid social ad for Smith Farm Supply, which when the customer clicks on the ad, they'll be brought to their website and they could fill out the form there. But we switched gears and we tried out a Facebook lead gen ad, which then has the customer fill out a form directly in platform on Facebook. I believe our budget for the ad was about $400 a month before co-op, so pretty cost effective for the dealer. And within just 2 months of running this ad, they received 44 quality leads. Smith Farm Supply said they were very happy with the quality and really surprised by it because you never know with a third party like Facebook what those leads are going to look like. For Smith Farm Supply, we also connected them with our third party Zapier, which then anytime going forward that a lead comes through will allow them to receive an email in real time of that Facebook lead coming through, which is way preferred than them needing to go into Facebook to look at them every day. So just another tactic worth trying out if it fits for your dealership. Yeah. This next example too is also for Massey Ferguson CUE. Agriservice came to our team sharing that they had a lot of CUE on the lot that they're hoping to get rid of. So our team put together an integrated marketing plan, which included Google display, paid social, email, landing page, organic social with boosting, and then some in-store deliverables as well. This campaign only ran for the summer, so I believe ran June through August. But we were super happy with the results just in that short time frame, which is not long at all for a digital campaign to this extent. Had over 655,000 impressions, 6,000 clicks, and 270 phone calls, 145 form submissions, 97 requests to quote, and so on. And our main goal with this campaign was phone calls and then form submissions as well. And then, as you can see here down below, we have a quote right directly from the Agriservice team that they started out before this campaign with 180 pieces of equipment. And now here this fall, they were down to only 60. And their team was attributing this to their marketing efforts. So this was a really big win and really exciting. So definitely a campaign that we'll revisit and reutilize going forward.
Next, I just want to show you guys a couple of different ideas to help you push things through the end of the year. We know this is a busy sales time for you. And I'm sure as the marketing people within your dealerships, you're receiving lots of pressure to help you push out equipment, get people into the dealerships. So we just wanted to share some different ideas with you of things that you can leverage. The first one is Section 179. I'm sure most of you are familiar with what Section 179 is. I did pull this off the government website with a little bit of a description of what exactly it is for those of you who are not familiar with it. I'll read this to you. It might be a little small on some of your screens. Essentially, Section 179 of the IRS tax code allows businesses to deduct the full purchase price of qualifying equipment and or software purchased or financed during the tax year. That means that if you buy or lease a piece of qualifying equipment, you can deduct the full purchase price from your gross income. It's an incentive created by the U.S. government to encourage businesses to buy equipment and invest in themselves. So this is a really great thing to push with a lot of your customers. They know that tax season's coming up, but they might want to save some money, so they can push Section 179 to help encourage them to make some of these purchases before the end of the year to help them get that tax break. You can see on that ad there for Loft, they did the math for you, so you can see how this actually works. Butler took a little bit of a different approach and just said save with Section 179. We do have the Section 179 icon for you that you can see on the Loft example. If any of you want to utilize that, reach out to your AGCO direct account manager and they can definitely help you get that put onto some of your different materials. This will be a great thing to leverage through texting, email, social, any of those really quick turn items that we can get out fast. I see Brian just asked about printing a mailer and how long that took, and if we could still get some out. We could probably still get some out. It's going to be a pretty quick turn. I will caveat that with, as for those of you who are Canadian on the call, there's been a lot of issues with Canadian Post lately and them being on strike. So I would probably not recommend doing any more mailers for Canada for the rest of the year. However, in the US, if you contacted us immediately, we would do our best to try to help you get something out. But again, I think your better bets are going to be utilizing things like social, texting, email, online display, those items that are much quicker to update quickly. Also wanted to remind you, Red Wheel Deals is still live through the end of the year. There are lots of assets out on the ACO Direct portal for you to leverage for Red Wheel Deals. So I think this is something that you should all still take advantage of if you are a Fendt dealer. That 0% for 36 months is a fairly enticing offer. So go ahead and pull those assets off the portal if you would like, or if you need help customizing anything, again, feel free to reach out to your ACO Direct rep, and we are happy to help you with those.
Awesome. And then one other thing we wanted to touch on too would be community awareness initiatives. And while we know that these probably aren't going to be linked directly to sales, any extra touch point you can have with your customers, and have touch points with them, get to know them more, anything like that is always beneficial, of course. So we kind of wanted to walk through a few ideas that we've seen some other dealers do in the past that they found success with. So Creamer Power, I think it was a year or two ago, they had done this holiday toy drive, which was super fun. And they shared it everywhere on social. Essentially, they just encouraged customers to come donate toys. They put them in the loader of this piece of equipment. And then I think it was on Christmas Day or right before, they then went and donated them to a local organization. Super fun, something to get people involved, an excuse for them to come stop by the dealership. Another idea we've seen people do is customer appreciation events. And of course, we know we're here at the end of the year almost, but these could really be big or small. Something as simple as hosting an open house, posting on socials, and having coffee and treats. It really doesn't need to be anything big and fancy, just an excuse to get people in the door and to get your sales team engaged with potential customers is always great. We've also seen a lot of people this time of year do social media giveaways in the spirit of the holidays, which is super fun. It could be your branded merchandise, could be something a little bigger like cornhole boards, jackets, anything like that. Super great way to give back to your social media audience and get people in the door again. We've also seen a lot of dealers kind of do customer gifts this time of year, and it doesn't necessarily need to be those people that are buying a lot of equipment, but maybe it's that person that's referred you to a lot of their friends. They're a really great community member, someone that stops in a lot, anything like that, just to kind of reward them for being loyal to you and your brand is always great. Yeah.
So a little bit of a shorter presentation for you all today. I do see we have some good questions and engagement in the chat. We'll go through some of those questions now. Feel free to keep adding to those questions as we are answering the ones that have already been submitted. Brad had asked, and I believe Chelsea and Brad are asking the same thing as far as the texting campaign. How did the dealership obtain the phone numbers for the text campaign? So the list was not generated by ACO. It was a list of phone numbers that the dealer did collect themselves. I know this is something that has been challenging for a lot of you to collect those phone numbers. However, I would encourage you to work with your salespeople as best as you can to try to obtain both phone numbers and emails. We're seeing a lot of great success with both texting and email campaigns. I think we're all getting to the point that we're used to when you check out just about anywhere, they're asking you, can I have your phone number? Can I have your email address? Some customers are probably going to tell you no, but I think it's a good habit for anybody working at the counter or any salesperson to just get used to asking those questions and capturing that data in your CRM. I think we're going to continue to see these be more and more popular items and being utilized more frequently. So I would highly encourage you to try to put a plan in place as you're going into 2025 to find a way to start obtaining those phone numbers and emails. I know it's easier said than done, but it's probably going to take a lot of hounding of your salespeople. But I think it's something everybody should try to start doing to see some successful campaigns going into next year. We do know it's a little more tricky in Canada and California. There are some more hoops we need to jump through, but definitely if that's something you're interested in, reach out to us. We do have experts on our team that are up to date on all of the different rules, regulations, whatnot, so they can definitely help you through those different loopholes that you might need to jump through in order to do any of those campaigns. Alicia was asking about the Red Wheel deals. Will the assets be freshened up like what we've seen on Fence Social? Alicia, I don't believe we'll be doing any more updates to the Red Wheel deal assets on the portal since we are nearing the end of the campaign for that promotion. However, if there is something that you would like to see, if there's some assets that you saw on Fence Social page, reach out to your ACO Direct account manager and they can try to help you recreate it or help you get some assets similar to what you're seeing that you would like. Sarah's asking about the presentation being recorded. Yes, we do record all of our presentations and we send those out after the fact. You'll all be receiving a recap email that will briefly recap what we talked about today. And then it will also include a recording to today's presentation. So if you want to share it with anybody, if you missed anything and you want to go back and revisit it, you will all have a copy of that. We do also include it in our monthly newsletter. So you should all be receiving our monthly newsletters as well. And there's always a link to the most recent webinar in those newsletters. If there's any other questions, feel free to put those in the chat. I did want to touch on a few things that Jordan had mentioned while she was talking, but feel free to keep putting your questions in if you think of anything. Jordan had mentioned Zapier when she was talking about social lead gen ads. This is a new tool that our team has been working with, and we find it a very efficient way to make sure that you all are getting leads in your hands quickly. So essentially, Zapier ties into your Facebook page. We will need a different type of permission than what we typically ask for in order to tie Zapier into your Facebook page. But if you are willing to grant us that additional access, we can go ahead and get Zapier set up, and then you will be sent leads. Jordan, I believe they can pick to do either as they come in or once a day. Is that correct?
Yep, that's correct. Yep.
So you can choose, you can work with your account manager to choose how often you want to see those leads come into your inbox, and then it will just go into the inbox of your choosing. And you'll get them quickly instead of waiting for somebody from our team to pull them and send them to you or having to go into the back end yourself and pull them. We know it's been a pain point in the past, so we're trying to find ways to make that a little bit more efficient. Zapier we've had some great success with Zapier and plan to continue using that with those who are interested. Excuse me. Jordan also touched a little bit on customer appreciation events. We know the holiday season is busy, so customer appreciation events certainly do not need to be done during the holiday season. They can really be done any time of the year. I know one of the dealerships we work with does a big pancake breakfast for their customers where they do it at each one of their locations, usually starting in February, I believe, going through March or April. So that's a great way to show some appreciation for your customers. Just invite them to come to the dealership, eat some pancakes, hang out for a little bit. I know we have some other dealers that do different grill outs or barbecues in the summer. That's always a great way to show some appreciation to your customers. There's really so many different avenues that you can take with a customer appreciation event, even going as far as going to the customer. Maybe during the busy harvest season, you go out into the field and deliver your customer lunch in the field. I think that would go a long way for some of your customers to just bring them a hot lunch when they're out there on a busy day. So just some other ideas for you guys as you start planning for 2025. Again, we know this is a super busy time for all of you, so please let us know how we can help you get through these last few months of the year. If there's anything that you want us to help you push, any new creative you need. We also know we're all going into planning for 2025. So if you would like us to help you put together a marketing plan for next year, please reach out. We are happy to help you do so. I know many of you have probably already been in touch with your AGCO Direct Account Manager to start working on your 2025 plans. And we have most of our account managers actually out on the road this week meeting with dealers in person. So if you are wanting an in-person visit, that's something we're always open to as well. It's always great to see your dealerships in person and meet you face to face. If you do think of any other questions after we close out today, feel free to reach out to us at ads@agcodirect.com or reach out directly to your AGCO Direct account manager. It looks like Sarah added one more comment in here. She said, for 50 years, we've done a New Year's Eve social, closing the dealership at noon and serving refreshments, staff potluck to share and fun games. Always a success. I love that idea, Sarah. I think that's something fun to do, something a little unique. There's so many spins you can take on something like that. And I think it's great when you guys share your ideas and successes with each other. Having worked in a dealership briefly myself, I know it can be difficult as the marketing contact to think of ideas or be able to share and talk to other marketing individuals with another dealership. So I think it's great when you guys can come together and share those ideas. So please feel free to use our chat function now or in the future to make sure that you're sharing those ideas as well. Jordan, any closing comments from you?
I don't think so. I guess just thank you all for joining us today. This has been great. And like Kira said, feel free to reach out to the ads@agcodirect.com inbox or to your account manager with any questions. And we'll be sharing that recording link shortly as well.
Thank you all for your time. Best of luck getting through the end of the year, and we will see you all in the new year.